realtors nationwide. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. And this is All the Leads Mastermind podcast number 481. I know we have an action-packed agenda for you today, so take it away, Tim, please.
It's action-packed. Sounds like
It
we're
is.
going to run a theme park. Everybody gets an e-ticket ride. Hey, everybody, welcome. If you're here, obviously, as a result of getting the prompting emails that we send out to let you know what's cooking, we've got another new little small tidbit product for you today to consider adding to your mix that we think will be quite helpful for you, and something that we think we've been dealing with for a while, and it kind of came out as a result of looking at some of the things that we're doing in terms of increasing our degrees of automation and frankly just getting better at collecting leads and augmenting them and doing all the things that we do. So Jody is with us on the call today, and Jody's kind of the godfather of this particular product. It is our aged expired product. We've been talking a little bit about that, and there is a page that is live as of this call on our website. And I'm going to let Jody spend a little bit of time talking about it. There's my goodly of the day. Spend some time talking about it and explain kind of how it came to be, and talk about that. And then we're going to take some questions from you about it. So Jody, with that, you need to unmute yourself and lay it on us, buddy.
The Godfather. I like that, Tim. Makes me sound cool.
Well, it's better than the Czar. I think Godfather has a more, you're from Buffalo, so in Buffalo, the Godfather.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So when we first started talking about maybe bringing expireds on as a product here into our ecosystem, I really started to think about what could be a way we could do it that would be something more of a niche, something more in line with probate and divorce and the other things that we do, a little more specialized, something with less competition. And so we sort of brainstormed and came up with the aged expired product. A lot of you may do daily expireds or may have tried them in the past and moved on from them. But if you have, it's a really competitive product. Tons of agents just blowing up the homeowners' phones there as soon as the expired hits the streets. And they work them pretty hard for the first week to 10 days. The majority of them, I think it's probably around 65%, will relist within the first 4 or 5 days. And then most of those agents that have been pounding the phones will move on. They don't typically treat that as a long game and keep following up with them. And so that's where we see a great opportunity to provide you guys with a monthly file of those homeowners who did not relist within, it's going to be approximately 30 days. So we collect the expireds, we monitor them, and then on your delivery date, you'll get all the ones that did not relist. So you can have an opportunity to go ahead and get them to get back in and list with you. There will be a lot less competition from other agents at that point. And those are really good folks to sort of come at from not just phone calls, but send letters to. They didn't take action right away, but obviously they were trying to sell within the last month or so. And so they probably still have some motivation there and just need to talk to the right person to make them feel good about getting in and getting it sold.
And I think the whole point that we came up with is that we often talk about being top of mind at the right time. And it's one of the reasons that we talk about, we say probate leads season really well. We've always said that, and it's been proven time and time again from all the wonderful anecdotal stories that we've heard of people that, they talked to somebody 6 months ago and a year ago, and they finally moved forward to get something done. And, listings the same way. If they had a bad experience or weren't able to get it sold, it'll come off the market, and maybe their motivation to do it wasn't as strong as it was, when it happened, or they thought the market cooled down, or it got listed too high, lots of other reasons. But at some point, if the original motivation to sell the house is there, they're going to relist it. They're going to try to get it sold. So the whole idea with this is to try to be top of mind when that happens. And, you know, as Jody said, based on kind of the data that we collected, we've looked at it to see when people do get back on the market, and starting at 30, then going to 60, and then maybe 6 months out and 12 months out are good times to go back and prospect again. A lot of it has to do with seasonality. You know, sometimes we're gonna work really hard to try to get it sold, you know, before the kids get out of school, because we don't want to take them out of school during the year. So if it doesn't get sold by then, we're going to wait. Well, they did. Well, now they're back where they were the year before. So, you know, you're 6 months, 9 months out, they're going to try again and get it done. You want to be in their face when that happens. So that's the whole idea of this product. Jody, how will it get delivered, all that sort of stuff, and is it available internally within our system? Kind of talk through that a little bit.
Yep. So they'll get delivered just like probate, or pre-probate or divorce, where you'll get that month's lead on a delivery date. Every month it'll be on or about the same date. They'll come into the CRM just like you're used to, and you'll have an aged expired file to click into and start working through.
And they'll be able to see them and work them within the system, just like they do the rest of it. So it will appear as data in your system in the CRM. You can market to it. You can do all the things that you need to do to make that work. The other thing about it that is also equally important to know is that it's a very, very affordable product. For existing subscribers, it can be as little as $29 a month. If you're not a current subscriber for other products, then your first foray into our ecosystem, as Jody put it, would be $39 a month. And that's based on a very small county, small size, and all that. The idea with this is not to make a big expensive product. It's to give you just one more thing, one more opportunity to get in front of those motivated people that we try to do. And when we began the company, our intent was to offer all the leads. We named it that for a specific purpose. We really want to be able to furnish leads in every area that we think makes sense to market with you. And we're looking at a couple of other arenas as well. And that's why we brought divorce out a couple of weeks ago. And we've had great penetration into our market with that. A lot of people are, jumped on the divorce bandwagon and are anxiously awaiting the training class tomorrow with Liz Becker. If you were on the call with Liz that we had in the beginning, Liz will be here tomorrow and is offering a really wonderful class where they're going to give you the essentials, how to build the network. She's very passionate about this. One of the things that we did with her as part of our arrangement was to make sure that she felt comfortable with what we were doing. We've always talked about leading with value. And one of the things that she got back, we sent her copies of all the letters that we had pre-created to go out for direct mail marketing for divorce, because we're strong believers in that. We know that it works and it's a reliable way to do it. It increasingly becomes more important as phones get harder and harder for people to connect. So we know that the letters are out there, and particularly right time, top of mind, it's that kind of thing. Her only real response back was she liked the letters. She thought they were great. She said, the only thing I want to make sure that you guys understand is that it's my belief that if you're going to say that you are an expert in divorce, you need to be an expert. You need to actually have had training. You need to have gone through the educational process to validate that, rather than faking it till you make it. And she's passionate about that. And I admired her for doing that, because, it's a revenue opportunity for her. She knows that she's got opportunity to grow her training, but she's sticking to her guns and wants to make sure that we back that up. And so I'm excited about her class tomorrow and what she has to say. And I'll preach a little bit for Bruce as well. Same story is there. One of the things that we have long felt is that if you're going to be a certified probate expert, you need to actually be trained. You need to actually have the ability to have expertise, not just say it and have a nice piece of paper that indicates you've got something put on your wall and put initials after your name. We really believe in what we say, and kind of try to eat our own dog food. So, and Bruce, it's a reasonable time. Why don't you comment on that just from probate standpoint?
You want me to comment on being an expert and being able to back it up?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you can probably handle that.
Uh, I think so. Okay. So when I took over Probate Mastery, there were a large number, to use Tim Yandel's language, a goodly number of students who'd gone through Probate Mastery and were running around and are out with the certification, the designation certified probate expert. It basically just means and has meant that you've gone through a 15-hour on-demand class and you've passed some quizzes and you got your certification. And that's great. A lot of people go get training in order to get that designation, especially those of you that are realtors. We value that designation for the marketing aspects. When I took it over, I wanted to make sure that we had real experts. So we have moved recently the program to a live program. You can still take on demand, but it's now a live program, which we happen to be teaching next week, 4 days next week. But we're also asking you guys to prove and do the work to back up that designation. So moving forward, starting now, moving forward, you guys are going to have a 1 year conditional designation, and you've got to go out and close probate and estate related deals if you're going to keep it. So I'm just such a big believer in holding the brand high and making sure that when you guys go out and you present yourselves as an expert, a certified probate expert, that that people actually value that we don't commoditize the designation with a whole bunch of people that that don't do any deals. So we're going to teach you all about how to do the business, how to build systems into your business, how to market, how to find your leads, which if you're here, you should know how to find your leads. Okay. How to have a phone conversation, how to present yourself as the expert that families and attorneys and your vendors need to work with. And you'll get the designation. And at the end of a year, if you haven't closed 3 probate or estate transactions, we're going to take it back because we want you to be the living embodiment of an expert. And if you're an expert, you're going to do business. Okay. So that's what we have going on the mastery side. And I'm just going to challenge each and every one of you, and whatever you do it with a level of success. I have personally been guilty of taking on 1,000 projects before and 1,000 good ideas and being moderately good at several of them when I should be an expert. And I've had to force myself to scale back and really become an expert in a smaller number of things. And once you're an expert and once your systems are built, then go out and grab something else. And I hope that for most of you, probate and estate business is going to be one of those first things that you're an expert at. And if you need business, obviously, you you should be getting expired listings as well, expired data as well, and divorce. But make sure that you guys aren't trying to be a jack of all trades, that you're really, really becoming a specialist in some as well.
Well said, man. That's obviously, and truthfully, that's where we're coming from. I mean, I don't think there's a particular degree of stunning expertise to be provided for expireds, only because with aged expireds, you're either good at your craft or you're not good at your craft, and you can't explain why you're a better choice than a previous agent might have been, and all of that. Then you have different issues to deal with, and we can talk about that a little bit, but. I think as far as probate and divorce are concerned, we're literally trying to put some teeth behind the expertise that we bring to bear. We've done all we can and continue to do the same thing to make sure that the quality of the data that we give you is the best we can possibly provide. And we want you to have that same level of expertise. And, we're not preaching at you. I mean, the reality is we've learned more from the very folks who come on this call and have wonderful things to say about what they do and the good things that they've done for people and the changes they've helped them make in their lives. Roger Lisi is a frequent contributor here and a more giving guy there isn't than him. And he's always talking about the things that, he's gotten back from, investing his heart and soul in the stuff that he does to his customers. And he's certainly not the only one, but he always kind of comes to mind when we talk about that. Roger's a great example of doing just that. So those are the things that are going on. If you, I think Alyssa posted the link to the webpage for that. This is a self-checkout program. You simply click in it, click on the page. It'll take you to a page that'll tell you what the cost is in your county. And we'd be happy to work with you to get that squared away. The letters are already in the system. We'll help you get it automated. Your MIS marketing implementation specialists are ready to work with you to get your letters implemented for that. Just get it, put it on autopilot and let it run and give it a whirl. It's certainly not something that's going to break your bank to do this. It's a little like a sorbet after your dinner. We made a small product that we think can add to your business. And, you know, if you get something every 2 or 3 months out of it that you didn't have before, that's a great investment to make. And we tried to make it as affordable as possible. So at this point, I want to throw this open to your question. And I see somebody's already raised their hand. Well, that worked out well. TC, unmute yourself and we'll be glad to talk to you.
Hey, greetings, everyone. For these expired leads, do they already come with the contacts or do I still have to go and skip trace?
No, they come with everything. They come not only with the contact, but the property information for that as well. So we literally give you all the data that you need to effectively work that lead.
Oh, okay, awesome. And I'm not a real estate agent, like I'm just a regular wholesaler. So this would still be a good idea for me as well, or no?
Absolutely would be. Yeah,
Okay.
if they didn't get it sold via conventional means, then certainly it's a great opportunity for you as an investor because they didn't put it back on the market. They may just be wide open to an offer on it. So certainly it's a
Okay.
good product.
And this refreshes every month. So next month I can come and rebuy from my same county.
It's automatic. In other words, it's a subscription like everything
Okay.
else that we do. So they'll just come every month. They'll be in the system ready to work.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You bet. Great question. Thank you.
Tim, I think I need to clarify something from what TC asked.
Sure.
It is going to be county dependent because we do need MLS access to get the expired. So TC would need to there would be some places where we wouldn't, but majority we would. So she might need to find if she has an agent she's a partner with, she could work with on them or something to get started.
Sure. Just click on it. TC, go ahead and get signed up and we'll work with you to figure out what we need to get you squared away, get them come in because we actually work directly within the local MLS in the market that you're in. Thanks, Jody. That's obviously a good point. But for sure, we pretty much will have it covered in every county. Other questions, other observations? I also want to point out that the divorce training tomorrow is for the divorce subscribers, the folks that have already signed up for it. It is not a wide open class. It is one that we are reserving specifically for people who've raised their hand and kind of voted with their hearts and minds and wallets. And so it is not a public class. In order to be in it, we'll be sending the links out to the subscribers for divorce and making sure that you know that it's there. If you are a subscriber, the class will be recorded. If for any reason you can't be there live, certainly we will send it out to you so that you'll still get the same benefit, but you won't have the opportunity, unfortunately, to answer questions and learn directly from Liz, who's just great at what she does. So I urge you, if you're one of our subscribers, you need to make sure you attend the class tomorrow.
And Tim, just to add on to TC's question, I know back when I was active agent, I used to put the expireds aside. And when I went back to call them, very often the agents back then would not put an owner's phone number in there because they wanted to keep control of the transaction. I think it's probably even more so the case today with Show Assist and all the automated showing systems that very often there isn't going to be an owner's phone number in the MLS. So I would have to go back and see if the property had been relisted, and then I'd have to try to find the phone number. So that's all done for you. And just like our probate leads, we're giving you more than one phone number. So we're going to probably be giving in if it's available. In most cases, it is. So we're going to be giving you information that whatever was available in the MLS, but a lot of contact information that was never there that nobody else will have. So you can have a distinct advantage over somebody else working them.
Cool. Yeah, that's a very good point. And, you know, I mean, I think the whole idea here is that we're just trying to, like everything else that we do, we try to give you as much info as we possibly can, to get you what you need, to do the job that you need, so that it's instantly actionable, not that you got to go dig around. Sorry, just.
Looks like Ken arrived at his destination. Ken, anything to add? You have a nice drive?
Yeah. I mean, I'm dealing with my house. The pool decking's been a little bit more challenging than I anticipated, but I bought it right, so I should be able to, you know, put out the other $2,000 and get it done still. But anyway, as far as the expireds, I mean, I just have a good strategy. I mean, I think actually I never implemented it. I think it would be excellent though, where you go down and you say, you know, you have a potential buyer for the house, of course, right? You know, that's an old strategy that people use all the time. But I got pretty good at making videos. You know, mostly I would do that for new homes. So you go down there and you film the house. I would suggest don't do the video yourself, but you certainly could. But you hire a virtual assistant from the Philippines for $3 or $4 an hour. You put together the video, professionally edited. I mean, it looks great after you're done with it. And you can give that to the for sale by owner as a gift for letting you come down. And you say, hey, listen, my client wasn't interested, but when you're ready, you know, you can use this video for marketing, but when you're ready, if you do want to list, then I can advertise this. I have other videos that I've done. I got 11,000 views on one of my videos that I did for a probate lead. It was a unique property, but I got 11,000 views. So when I go show somebody a video that I've done and I've advertised before, I can show them significant results. You know, it's a little out of a lot of people's wheelhouse. But again, if you want to stand out from the pack, you know, learn some new skills.
Cool.
And it's really not that hard when you're when you start doing it. Like most things, like Bruce said, you don't want to be too scattered. Have a strategy you're going to stick to, and you know, if you keep pursuing one thing or just a small amount of things, then you become very good at it. As far as the numbers, though, I will attest again. I'm on calling sessions weekly. I mean, the best thing I love about all the leads, at least for probate, because I haven't tried the other ones, but the numbers are phenomenal. I mean, I was shocked at how many people picked up the phone and how accurate the information was. So if you want to cut a lot of wasted time down, then, you know, get these leads and you're going to have amazing results just as far as getting to the right person.
Cool.
Absolutely. I've even started calling again here recently, and it seems like it's even better. The pickup rates in my area have been better than they used to be. So I can attest to what Ken just said on data. Coley, what's up, my man? You got your hand raised, by the way. Coley, he unmutes himself. Anyone else here that has questions, comments, success stories, anything like that, we want to hear from you guys. These little gaps where we're all kind of waiting on one another to talk just about kill me. So that's why I'm butting in right now. It makes me just want to jump in and start talking. But Coley's got a question.
We were actually working something out behind the scenes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Coley.
So I have a question about an existing probate lead. So the executor has already listed the property. She says she's running an open house for the property, has about 10 offers already. And I think the lowest offer so far is like 975. And I'm trying to wholesale the property, so it's not much profit margin working with that figure. So I'm wondering, how can I still market to this lead, being that I have some competition and kind of stand out amongst the other offers while
Mm.
getting like my ideal price tag?
So, should I assume that the house is in really good condition, or does it need work? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm assuming, being that it's almost going for a mil.
Yeah. Is it listed with an agent, or is it just the first? Is it just for sale by owner?
No, it's listed with an agent.
An agent. Okay, got it. Um, yeah, this is one that as a wholesaler, are there some things that you could do? Yeah, but it might be it might be one to pass on for you because you need
Mm-hmm.
your margin. They've got 10 offers. It's probably going at or above the ask price. I'm surprised that the seller told you what the highest offer was. Depending on what state you're in, that's a no-no for for someone. But hey, you got it. That's not your fault if they told you too much information. Um, go see it, see if it needs some work, see if it's worth trying to wholesale. But if it's listed, it's already going to the end user with multiple offers. I'm kind of doubting that this is a deal for you.
Thanks. That's what I thought too. That was probably a toss.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's fine. There there are ways as a wholesaler to have a relationship with an agent, especially if you do more of like a novation type of agreement versus a wholesale agreement where you can contract on a house and then have your agent partner simultaneously sign a listing and be able to market to the end user instead of just investors. Now, there's a lot of investors here. I'm not trying to cut you guys out of relationships or anything like that. Um, but if you can skip the investor on a house that doesn't need tons of work and go directly to that end user that is going to live in the house, there's a higher wholesale fee there, and there's also an ability for an agent to get paid a listing fee as well, especially if you structure it as a novation. This doesn't sound like that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you run into situations like this in the future where it's not listed, um, and it is a house that doesn't need much work, you can still get a contract on there. Just make sure you structure it the right way.
Yeah, I think Bruce is right. I mean, sometimes there's just not a deal there. We try to get blood from a turnip instead of, going to something else that's going to be more fruitful and profitable. But
I'm gonna go.
uh,
I'm gonna real quick, Ken. Sorry, I don't mean to
go,
step
yeah,
on you, man.
absolutely.
I'm
Nope.
gonna kind of draw an analogy here. Coley, you ask questions, and this is gonna sound like I'm picking on you. I'm not. I want you to keep asking your questions, no matter what this sounds like. Okay. I talked to a seller yesterday. Has a house that I'd cold called, circle prospected. I have a buyer looking for a house in my area. Buyer wants a house up to about 500,000, and the seller has a house that's worth about 500,000. Okay, haven't been in it. It's really unlikely that it's going to be worth more than 525 at most, even if it's in great condition. And the seller said, "Yeah, I want to sell. Absolutely, bring your buyer. I want 650,000." I'm not going to show up and say, "Hey, how do I structure a deal where this house is worth 650,000?" It's not. And no, and no environment, at least this year, is that house going to be worth 650. So sometimes you just have to know when you let somebody go. They're either not realistic, or in a case like this, they are realistic. It's just not a fit for your business model. So,
Yeah,
good question though.
but I would say everybody should take a lesson from Coley as far as this guy. Every week he's asking a question, so that means he's picking up the phone, he's advertising, he's getting after it, he's getting into new situations, you know, getting into massive action. That's how you win. That's how you learn. That's how you get better real fast. Like, so my admiration to Coley,
Hmm.
like, you're doing it that's amazing. Like, yeah, keep going. Like, you're gonna win if you keep going the way you're going.
Yep.
That's absolutely correct. Hey, like I said, we were kind of walking behind the scenes here a little bit when I was talking with Jody, and this had to do with the question that TC asked earlier, and I think we need to cover that a little bit better in detail. Jody, why don't you just go ahead and talk about what we were talking about? Explain a little bit more about the logistical side of this so that everybody understands what they can do as an investor if you don't have the keys to the MLS in your marketplace.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. And I did want to tack on to what Jim had talked about as well. Just highlight what you are going to get for data for each lead. So you'll get multiple owners if there are multiple owners. You'll get phone numbers and emails. You'll get the MLS number. You'll get what it was listed at. You'll get the expiration date from when it expired. So you'll have all those data points to work with. If you are an investor, at the checkout process, it's going to ask for your MLS URL, your user ID and password. To bypass that, you will need to put something in. So I'd like to have you go ahead and put investor.com as the MLS URL, and then just put investor as your user ID and investor as your password. We'll obviously know you're an investor then, and we'll reach out about getting MLS access and how we could make it work in your market.
And Alyssa, after we get off, I want to restructure the form a little bit to do that, so we can make that a little bit more obvious when we do it, because everybody that's on this call isn't going to have that. And obviously, we think this is a good opportunity for the investor side as well. As we flesh them out with the appropriate MLS contacts, we'll get that done more directly. But I think we need to tell people what to do as we grow. And if we can't accommodate you today, we'll accommodate you tomorrow, and we'll get it worked out. See, Sherry, you've got your hand up there, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And if I'm not, you can tell me how to pronounce it.
Yes, you are pronouncing it right.
Okay. We help you.
My question is, I'm a realtor and / investor. Okay, those leads that you are providing, is it going for everybody that's in the chat, or is it going to personalize to everybody that's to you personally?
Are you saying if you acquire the leads, are you getting them exclusively? Is that your question?
Yes.
So it depends. Certainly, no, we don't ever guarantee exclusivity. What we do say is that we don't oversell. And we initially, when we first started, we kind of strapped it down to no more than 3 in any given marketplace. Our national average is below 3 in most. It's below 3 in all the counties that we have. We have some counties where, as the counties get larger and more people are in them, for example, in Los Angeles, we actually broke LA up into multiple quadrants. So we've got 6 different segments of the market in Los Angeles. So we try to keep it as much as we can to do it so that you can make a profit and you have a great opportunity to market in your county. But we don't guarantee exclusivity.
That's not what I wanted to say.
That's where the probate training comes in handy, though. You have, you get great training, you get your certificate, and then, like I said, build relationships and stand out from the pack.
Are you referring to expired or probate?
Okay, right now I'm to expired. Is it
Expired.
gonna go for, let's just say, all 4 of us, like all 44 people that's on this line right now, all 44 of us sign up for the
Oh yeah,
expired?
everybody's going to be in a different market.
Yeah.
So it's highly unlikely that you're going to have a bunch of people getting access to this. Let me tell you though, you're never going to be the only person pursuing expired ever. You're normally going to be one of the only people pursuing aged expireds. So the vast majority of agents that call expireds are going to call brand new, just expired today, maybe yesterday. After that happens, the expired competition goes away. Okay, so you're getting aged expireds that are very unlikely to be getting hit by anybody else. Most likely not receiving data from ATL. I say most likely. There's no way to guarantee exclusivity in your market. And Tim and Jody, you guys please jump in and correct me anything that I'm saying wrong. I'm going to say that anybody else that does get that data, because I've seen agents, I've coached and been an agent and an investor for 20 plus years. And I don't care if 100 other people have the same data I am. Number one, I'm normally going to be a little bit better on the phone than most of them. I'm going to appeal to some people that my competition doesn't appeal to, and vice versa. You know, every now and then someone's going to make an emotional connection with my competition and not me. Okay? And number three, most people don't do anything with data. So let's say 5 other people in your market got this data. You'll probably be the only one that calls if you pick the phone up, because most agents and investors don't prospect. They have plans of it, but they don't have an actual structured system in place to actually do the work that they think that they should be doing. So I wouldn't really worry about competition regardless of what lead type you're going after. I've seen people come in and out of my market as competition for years, and most of the time, with some exceptions, most of the time they don't do the work and they pose no real competition to me because they don't pick the phone up.
Yeah, and Cher, I apologize for misunderstanding your question. No, the leads they don't go to everyone that's on this call. You get only the leads in your county, specifically to you. And it's very likely that you may be the only subscriber in the county. We have lots of counties where, we only have one subscriber. We try to maximize, we're in business to make profit as well. So that's why I say we don't guarantee exclusivity. In the beginning, we actually offered that, and we would let people buy it out for their county. We still offer that. I don't think we've had only one circumstance where someone was willing to buy exclusivity in their county, and they bought all of the probate leads in their county and I think they paid 2.5 times the regular price to hold it. And then quickly they realized they still weren't the only one doing it, because like Bruce said, there are other ways that people can get it. We give you the best data, the most actionable data, best phone numbers and all that. But, you certainly could feel comfortable that, in your, as he said, in the aged expireds, it's likely to be you're the only player in town doing it at the time you're doing it. Okay.
Well, the other thing is you can also hire an inside sales agent, right? I mean, do we still have the program that we're assisting people with their calls?
Of course.
Right. Okay. So you can also use that option too, if you want to just come in and be the closer. I mean, I'm a big fan of getting on the phone myself, but for people that are already real busy and then they want to expand, I mean, that's a great option.
So
Okay.
that answer your question, Cher?
Yes, it kind of does. And also, I know you said that I can be one of the person that you can use my MLS for you to actually. You said you was looking in case you don't have the MLS in my county. I'm willing to let you get access to my MLS for you guys to use it.
I understand. You go ahead and get signed up, and we'll certainly do it, and we'll work through it with you. So hop onto the page. We put the link up in the chat. Just click on that link, and we'll get yourself squared away. We'll work with you.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you. Okay. Other questions? Observations, questions? Jim, did you have some folks on here you wanted to talk with? Do you know?
Yes, and neither one was able to make it. So one had an emergency meeting, and I don't know what happened to the other one. So unfortunately, they are not in attendance. Hopefully next week. And I'll just tease it a little bit. We had a guy who called me for some coaching. He was on his way to meet. He made a connection with a lawyer, and his lawyer said it's a probate law firm. He said, well, we're actually having a partners meeting tomorrow. There'll be 12 of us. Can you come talk to everybody? So he got in, he made a really good presentation to 12 probate attorneys. One of them was a divorce attorney. And, he got in there, he asked him good questions. I found it kind of interesting. I won't do the whole interview, but I said, start off by asking them, what is the one thing that I could take off your plate? And I was expecting they would say, get the stuff out of the house or something non-legal, and they told him hand holding. We need somebody to hold these people's hand. And I thought it reminded me of Ken. Build a relationship with these people, because the attorneys don't want to be their friends, or they can't afford to be their friends at $300 an hour. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And that's all I'll say about it this week. Hopefully he can come on and expand a little bit next week. But that he was very nervous. He did very well, and I think it was a meeting worth going to. So
Jim, I
hopefully-
think that that's a business USP is you talk to the attorney, hey, I'm a probate guide, I'm a probate coach, I'm a probate hand holder. What's that mean? It means that that I'll make sure that your clients get their paperwork in, hit their deadlines, do all the things that get you paid faster.
Yep. Perfect.
Key element. Gene Drew, you've got your hand up. Unmute yourself and let's talk.
Hi, so my name's Ashley. I'm actually brand new, and you mentioned ISAs when you were answering one of the questions about having your ISA call through. So my question was, what do you see as the role as an ISA, and what should they be looking to accomplish?
Who wants to take that? You guys know that I'm crawling out of my skin, so
Well, what are you saying? Are you thinking about becoming an ISA, or are you talking about hiring an ISA? I assume hiring one. And obviously the role of the ISA is to get you an appointment, to make sure that you're talking to people that are interested in doing business with you. You know, give you a much warmer lead, somebody who's potentially ready to go, that all you need to do is convert.
And Ken, let me expand on that. There's really two types of appointment also. For years, for the few years we used to teach, very few people can sell yourself as well as you do. Have your ISA set an appointment for you to talk to them. And that worked very well. I think our new company, and I see Jody shaking his head. Jody, is that what Appointments Today is doing, or are they actually setting an appointment for the people to come out to the house?
I mean, they certainly are trying to do that, but I think the reality is, just like you said, nobody can do a better job of that than you yourself. The ISA just has to do the job to make sure you're not wasting your time chasing people that are never going to answer or not interested, clearly outrightly not interested. Just helping you get to the people that you need to talk to.
Right.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Their job is to figure out who the 20% of any list are that A, answer the phone, B, are the personal representative, and C, might at some point sell a house in the future. To include, we don't know what we're going to do yet. If you guys have ever been around me for a long time, a lot of people say, don't know what we're going to do yet. And that is a 90% selling signal to me. They're going to sell. They just don't want to make the decision for anybody else, the rest of their family. So an ISA, if they can tell me that it's the right person, they are the PR, they do answer the phone, and that there might have been a selling signal there, I'll take the prospecting relationship from that point forward.
Yeah, it looks like, go ahead, Gene, you're still there. I thought we lost you.
Ashley.
Yeah, so no, that answered my question perfectly. I was actually just started on Monday as an ISA. So you kind of went through the tick list of what do I want to accomplish when I'm on the phone. So
okay, I'm gonna offer some clarity there, Ashley. Okay, given that you just started as an ISA, you're gonna be better than the average ISA, and you're gonna get appointments, and you're gonna carry relationships forward. Okay, so you're going to build up a stronger skill set than a typical ISA. So this is what I would say to any ISA. You want to make yourself more valuable. Don't stop with those four things that I just mentioned, but do recognize that a lot of people in the very beginning of your relationship, in the very beginning of your conversation, are going to be resistant not mean and rude, but they don't know you and they're going through a hard time. So they'll probably be a little bit resistant to your or the agent you're working with's initial offer. Okay. And you're listening for signals that tell you that this person might sell. And those signals aren't always, we're going to sell the house. You're listening for clues so that you can appropriately work that person to an appointment or to a relationship in the future.
Yeah, I'd say you're also looking for a need too, because the quicker you can find a need, you know, I need to clean out the house, I need to get items trashed out, I need repairs, I need whatever. I always say there's a correlation. If you can get into action with helping them find a contractor or getting things out of the house or getting things sold, the chances of you getting the deal go up exponentially. So you definitely want to look for, is there a need? But I say have a strong way to build rapport. Do that for about 5 minutes, then pivot to your offer. And then if there is a need and they are going to sell, then you want to pivot back and build that rapport more strongly. That's the way I do it. Sometimes I'd spend way too much time on the front end building rapport and then find out they're going to keep the property or they've already sold it or whatever. I spent like half an hour, 45 minutes literally talking to people. So don't do that, but build rapport strongly for 5 minutes, find out if there is a need, and then pivot back to rapport.
Sheila, you had your hand up earlier. You'll raise your hand again. We'll certainly be glad to take your question if you had one. Okay, great. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I am an ISA, and I find that what helps is if they want to talk, you let them talk as long as they want on the phone. The more that they get off of their chest while they're talking with you, the more comfortable they're going to feel down the road when it is time to sell the house. It also helps to have a really good knowledge of the area. Like if you don't know where certain places, look it up on Google, do some research while you're talking to them on the phone. That way you can sound like you really know what's going on with that neighborhood or etc. A lot of times you are going to get a lot of resistance. You just have to listen as much as you can, more listening than talking, but you do want to act like you're empathetic and that you understand what they're going through. And I hope that helps.
No, that's a great point, Sheila. It reminds me of last week, our divorce conversation. We talked about the importance of not only asking good questions, but knowing information about the neighborhood. I mean, if you know the elementary, middle, and high school, and they say they've got a kid that's going to be graduating high school, and you can say, oh, you must go to Jefferson High. You know,
exactly.
You don't have to know. You don't have to know the exact home, but you have to know information, and it gives them a confidence that if you know what you're talking about in that regard, that
Sure.
you're going to give them good advice and everything else. So great point. And I interrupted somebody. Was that you, Bruce?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in full agreement. Like I said, the only point I was trying to emphasize is again, build rapport, find a need, and then build rapport again. Like literally, I've talked to people for an hour, and then finally the conversation switches to who are you and why did you call? And then I give them my elevator pitch or my offer, and they're like, oh, the house is sold already. And then I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, wow, I spent an hour. So,
well, no, I do mention the real estate in the very beginning. I'm a certified probate expert. I am not an attorney. You probably already have one, but I can help you answer any questions you might have regarding the real estate involved in the probate. And then I shut up and let them talk.
Beautiful.
And Ken, even that conversation could be profitable if you say, well, you could obviously, I should ask that question up front, but you can tell I'm passionate about what I do. Who else do you know that I can help?
Right.
Ask for referrals, put them in your sphere of influence, call them.
Yeah. And we learn from making mistakes. That's, so I'm like, okay, just don't do that again. But hey, also pat myself on the back. I built rapport and I was able to talk to that person for an hour. So that's a huge win. It just all depends on how you look at it. Now, like I said, I build rapport, clarify that there is a need, and then pivot back to rapport, because true rapport, you're not going to ever build in 5 minutes. I mean, obviously this call's an hour week after week, and that's why we have a relationship with our audience. But you know, it's all a learning process.
Yep.
For sure. TC, unmute yourself there, and what, do you have another question?
Yes, I do. So I just went on the site again and I see that you guys have a built-in CRM with a click to call. And I wanted to know, do I speak to my rep directly about getting signed up for the CRM, or can I just like pay right now online?
Jody? Did you hear her question?
Yeah, so the CRM, so if you're subscribing to any of the products that we have, the CRM is included.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, TCR sales crew loves that. You know, they never thought they needed to click to call, but they tell us it saves so much trouble. Look at your screen, look at the first few numbers, look back and forth 4 or 5 times. It greatly speeds up the process for sure.
Yeah, not only that, in the new CRM, we literally made it so that you can create call lists to do that with and all of that. So literally you can stack them up and go through it. It's basically functioning as a single line dialer, one at a time, and you just pop right through the list. And obviously the value of doing it the way we're doing it is that you're putting that data right as you make those calls, you're putting that data right into the CRM as you go. And our CRM is purpose built to work probate, divorce, age expireds. As we create new products, we make sure that they're fully supported within our CRM to do exactly that. Michael White, I would like to hear from you there, bud. You unmuted. Tell us about your deal, buddy. Michael?
Michael.
Well, you unmuted, but you appeared to disappear.
Check your audio settings. If you go click the up arrow next to the mute button, you might be connected to a headset or something.
He did get unmuted, but then he went off into the clouds. All right. Well, we will hope you come back, and if so, the reason that we called on him is that he got his first probate deal closed, which he was excited to tell us about, and I wanted him to have the opportunity to let everybody know that.
In the meantime, Dwayne.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Working on getting unmuted here. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Yep, you're good. Go ahead, bud.
I find Sheila's comments to be helpful and interesting. I'm curious, since she's right in the midst of making calls, how she manages or deals with the do not call scenario, the list and so forth like that.
And who is that?
He was asking TC how she.
No, Sheila.
Sheila, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sheila,
I don't really pay attention to the do not call list. I mean, if they ask me not to call them, I'll put them on my personal do not call list. But if they're in my database, I'm gonna call the number. And they got real estate, I'm gonna call them. No, I very rarely get repercussion from that. And if I do, I just say, okay, well, I'll take your number off my list. I apologize and just move on.
Our job, folks, is we obviously are very careful about doing that because we make sure we do screen everything through the do not call list, and we tell you who is and who isn't. Those are your choices to make, and we cannot give you guidance on that. We also put the TCPA laws up. We want to make you aware of them. Certainly in the case of probate, the personal representative for an estate is the only person who can, in fact, transact business in regard to that estate. So in that case, they're frequently happy to hear from anybody. And you know, we've found that, you know, lots of people throw themselves on the DNC list simply to, you know, stop getting the 117 calls to get rust proofing and undercoating for your car and all the latest and greatest, whatever the scam of the month is. but you know, you're calling for a valid purpose and you need to make your own choices. But we only have one function in that. We do research phone numbers. We try to also give you as many as we can so that several of them will not be on the do not call list. That's why we don't just give you one number. But we do flag them, and it's up to you to do it. And as Sheila said, she makes a choice not to do that and has great success in making that happen. Hey, Michael, you're back there, bud. Can you unmute and let's try again? You're unmuted.
Difficulty.
There you go. We're good.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I had technical difficulty there. Sorry about that. So yeah, I had a great deal. It was out of state PR. Went really smooth, and closed it today. So happy about that.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Good
That's
for you,
awesome,
bud.
man.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about the deal from a pricing standpoint. How long did you work it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, so it started out a little bit before Christmas, probably November, December. It's when I learned about the guy. Started with a cold call, just calling to introduce myself, find out about what his needs were. Started out giving him, helping him out with an estate sale. And then from that, it led to, just staying in touch and helping him change a lockout and just, helping him all around any way I needed to keep the deal alive. And turned out to be $425,000 sale, and it's bought by an investor, and they're going to turn around and flip it for probably about $600,000.
Wow. I'd say that qualifies as the win of the week,
Yep.
didn't you, Tim?
I think so. Did you double end it, Michael? You got
Yep.
both sides of the deal?
No, I just got one side. I tried to make
Okay.
him an offer on myself to try to double end it, but he wanted to go full market, on the real estate market MLS side, and that's what we did. So
Yeah. Hey,
he
still a
was
great,
happy.
it's still a great
Yeah,
ROI, man. Congratulations.
That's awesome,
I
man.
like, you got your toe in the door, and then you help change the locks. Get into action with these people. You get into action, then you're going to be the first person they're going to think of, even a month or 2 months later. Oh, that guy who changed the locks. Oh, let me call him.
Oh, that's for sure. Hey, it's the top of the hour here. I want to make sure I touch on two things before we let you go. First off, Jim will summarize and thank all the people individually that participated. I'll let him certainly do that because he makes good notes about that and I don't. But I want to make two other points real quick. That is that if you haven't yet signed up for the Divorce Leads in your county and you've been waiting to get that done, you're out of time. Today's the day. If you don't do that, you'll miss the training class tomorrow. And it's important that you do this because you're going to learn the expertise from an expert. And it's important that we feel that you do that. We've made the divorce pricing something that most everybody can easily afford to add on to your core business and make another pillar out of your business. We think it's a great market to grow into. Unfortunately, it's a market that is evergreen, just like probate. People do get married. Unfortunately, not all the marriages work out, so people do get divorced, and the opportunity is potentially for 5 transactions out of 1 divorce, so the opportunities are large. So if you haven't signed up, please get that done and don't miss the class. We will get a piece of mail out to you via email with the link to the class, and if you don't get that and your spam filtrated or whatever, make sure you call support and let support know that you didn't get it, and we'll give you that link and get it to you, but it'll certainly be there for you, and we want you to attend. We've already had a bunch of people during this call that have signed up for our new expireds product. It's a very inexpensive way to grow your business. We've tried to make it easy and affordable. We expect to have pretty much everybody that is currently a sub add that to your business as a side piece. We think we'll do well with it. We hope you do as well. And we want to hear your good results from that over the coming months. And we will continue to hone the product and make it better for you. With that, Jimbo, I'm going to give it back to you. Oh,
Yes, sir. I want to thank another great action-packed call. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Particularly thank those who actively participated, Cher and TC and Jean and Sheila and Michael and Dwayne. And I want to challenge each of you, take one idea that inspired you on this call, go out and put it into practice, and please come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. Great week, everybody. Same time next Thursday. Take care.
Thank you.